Quint's podcast.
We cannot let another 1984 happen in this country, not under the watch of this court. That's what the Delhi High Court said on the violence that has gripped the capital. The situation in Delhi has come to such a point that the Supreme Court and the Delhi High Court had to egg on the police to take matters under their control. At least 20 people have died in violence that has been raging in the capital since 23rd February, that is last Sunday. The areas in North Delhi are still tense from the looting and the arson that followed after the clashes between the pro and the anti-CAA protesters. But curfews haven't been ordered yet, the army hasn't been brought in yet, not enough police forces have been deployed either, and of course the police have been saying that they are waiting for orders since the last 4 days. So the Delhi High Court had to step in for an emergency hearing at 1 a.m. on the intervening night of 25th and 26th February to order the police to ensure safe passage and emergency treatment for those injured in the unprecedented violence in the capital. You're listening to The Big Story, the podcast where we dissect the biggest story of the day for you, and I'm your host, Chalbury. In today's episode, we take stock of the law and order situation in Delhi and bring to you voices from the ground.
His name is Nisar, sir. They burnt his house. When their house was on fire and they were screaming, we came and got them out. Then we dropped them off somewhere else and extinguished the fire.
That was Ajay, a resident of Bhagirathi Vihar near Delhi's Mustafabad, talking about how his neighbor Nisar's house was set on fire.
They saw the nameplates outside their house. It was a Mohammedan house. The mob of men were outsiders, and we don't know where they came from.
What began as a clash between pro and anti-CAA protesters in Maujpur and Babarpur and other areas of North Delhi didn't take too long to turn into a case of communal violence. And without enough security forces to subdue the violence, it only grew bigger and bigger until mobs carried out a rampage in these areas targeting specific houses of specific communities and also burning down a mosque. Home Minister Amit Shah held a third meeting in the evening of 25th February with National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and IPS Officer S.N. Srivastava, who's been appointed as the Special Police Commissioner. But all this happened after the Home Ministry downplayed the level of violence in Northeast Delhi in the past couple of days and did not take appropriate measures and also falsely assured that everything was under control. If everything is under control, then how did the death toll rise? Who were the people who set houses and shops on fire?
Want to hear the rest of this podcast? Check out the link to the full episode in the description below and follow The Quint on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, JioSaavn, and all other platforms we are on.